weekly Friday repair. Basically what I'm doing is going to be just a live repair. Today what we're doing is a brake adjustment on the Apollo Phantom. That's right, this is not going to be a long video. We just thought it would be nice at the same time. We know you guys like seeing the Phantom, especially now it's an actual camera and like an actual live setting. So yeah. Pour ceux qui parlent en français, je parle aussi français, donc si vous avez des questions à me poser en français ou il y a quelque chose que vous comprenez pas, n'hésitez pas à me demander. If you guys have questions about anything, don't hesitate to ask me, whether it's even about the Phantom or just repairs in general. I'm not down at the repair shop today, but I'm sure I can help you out in any way I can. So let's get right to it. All we need today is a 5mm Allen key. That's it. That's all you need to do a brake adjustment on your Phantom. This is, by the way, the same as on the Explorer, as on the Ghost, and if you have the Pro as well. So these are the same brake calipers. So essentially it will be the same process. So what we're going to be doing here first is I'm going to be loosening the brake line here. Basically what you would maybe need a brake adjustment for would be either if you see that it's that your brakes are too loose, maybe too tight. Usually if they're tight, they're good. Or if your brake pads are touching, you're hearing it's making like a squeaking sound. So that's what we're going to be adjusting today. So first I'm just going to be resetting the knob down here at its original form, and same thing on the brake handle up here too. Very quickly, I'm just putting it back as close as I can to the brake handle. Left brake handle for the back, right brake handle for the front. That's how it is on scooters. So first thing we want to do is make sure that this brake caliper is aligned, but actually just before that I'm just going to show you something which I don't need to do right now, because I know that these brakes are actually pretty good and well adjusted, but I'll show you what you might have to do. Because basically when you're pressing on the brake caliper, how it works is that you're bringing that front arm forwards, right? And basically that right brake pad is just closing in. The left brake pad isn't doing anything. That one just stays there all the time. So that right one is the one that moves. But so basically, what if you want to have and be able to adjust that left brake pad? You have to do it from the back. So technically, technically you could pass the Allen key behind there, but it's just so complicated. It's just much easier to get it out. So I'll remove those two bolts here. Same thing with the same 5mm Allen key. Remove both of them, and that will remove the brake caliper entirely. And here, now this is what we can adjust. So I'll just show you. If I put the 5mm Allen key and I turn right, look at this brake pad over here, the one on the left. I'm turning it right, it's getting a bit closer, and you can see that the gap is getting smaller there. If I'm turning it left, it's getting back to its original position, right? Or making it looser. So sometimes that's what you might have to do. If it's a little too inwards or outwards, it might be harder to adjust or to get really like a firm grip when you're braking. So essentially that's what it's for, but you might not always have to do this. So it's really in a specific situation. It's hard to assess when you might need to, when you might not. It kind of comes with practice. If you're adjusting your brakes often, which I mean you shouldn't really have to. But that back one usually you don't really have to do unless there's a let me get the back one here. Screw everything back in nice and tight. All those screws here, you really want them to be tight because you don't want that brake caliper moving out in any way. It's not really necessary to put in Loctite. You can if you want, but There's not much going on here. Now what I want to do is align the brake caliper. In my case right here, I'm actually perfectly aligned, but I'm just going to do it just for the sake of the video and to be able to show you. So I loosen those two screws here, and I don't want to take them out completely. I just want to loosen them, so I've loosened them enough to play around with the brake caliper, right? So right now I'm moving. Let's say if that's not aligned, you want to have it parallel and aligned to the disc. Let's say if it isn't, like right now, you can hear that the disc is touching the brake pad. But now I can put it right in the middle. Let's see if I can get it first shot. Nope. Still hearing it kind of a bit. And yeah. Yep. Let's try to adjust it this way. Turning it on here. I see. Now let's turn it back there. Still a little too much. I think I actually might have tightened this left one a bit too much while showing it to you guys. Now let's see, either I can get it from here or just make the gap a bit more. So basically, like when we were basically playing with the left brake pad, if you're making it too much and you're making the gap smaller, sure, your brakes are gonna stop better too, but it's much harder to get that perfect inside there. So I'm gonna try it a bit more myself. Otherwise, I'm just going to change it, which should be just a minute. I'm still touching a little bit. I feel like if I move this one here, sometimes when you tighten, okay, that's just too much. So let me undo that. I think I brought the pads a little too close. Let's get these out. You'll see that often with the brake adjustments, if you really want to have like a perfect thing, it's always going to be like a trial and error thing. You have to try a little bit, tightening on one side, loosening on the other. It's not always like a first shot kind of thing. There are other repairs and adjustments that you can do that are, but not with the brakes, especially if you want to have like a perfect one. Like you can do like a quick and easy one, but
is adjusting the front brakes the exact same?
The exact same. Actually, if you want to switch and see how it is on this side here, exact same thing. It's the same caliper, just inversed. So right now you see the arm is going from right to left. On the other one, it's from left to right. So it's just the arm and the position that it is, but it's the exact same caliper, just like a mirrored version of it. What's great with the Phantom is that they have 160 millimeter disc, so that actually makes it cooler. So when you're braking, and if it's not getting like too warm, compared to other discs that are usually standard is usually around like 140 millimeters. So 160 is like a lot, and so your braking distance will be much shorter on the Phantom, that's for sure. So now let's adjust this. Aha. No sound. Now what I want to have also is to be as close as possible to the left brake pad, right? Because remember again that the right one is the only one that's moving, the left one isn't. So the right one, we know we can adjust and we can get it closer, but right now this is how we get it as close as we can to the left brake pad without it touching. So let me tighten a bit here. Don't tighten too much because there we go. Yeah. Here. Tighten on the other side. Is it touching? Nope. I'll continue tightening. Not 100% yet because I want to still keep spinning that wheel while I'm tightening it. If you have someone else with you, then it's great. Then you can make them just press on the throttle. And now, once again, you want to tighten this fully once you're sure that it's right in place. Perfect. Now, we'll go onto the arm here. The same small screw, so we'll bring it as close as we can until it touches the disc. Once again, it's easier if like the wheel is turning, that way you can hear it. So I'm just going to do it kind of by eye right now. Now before tightening fully, I just make it spin. And I'm not hearing anything, and I think I'm pretty close, so I think I'll be good. Now right now, the adjustment right now will break. If I press on the brake handle, I am getting a brake. But I want it to be a bit tighter, and I like to have the brakes nice and tight. Other people like it a bit looser. So now we can go into smaller adjustments. And these are the kind of smaller adjustments that you'll have to do a little more often. It's not like something that you need to do often, but just more often than like the whole deal that I just went through right now. So now I'm turning anti-clockwise, bringing the lever a bit closer. If you see, if I'm spinning the wheel, and I just don't want it to be touching the disc or where I'm at the maximum here, which is where I am. And now I can move on to the brake handle. Let me just get that down a bit here. Perfect. And let's go up here. Now we've got the same kind of similar thing with the screw that's up here. This big one is not the one that we're turning right now. We're turning on this, I guess, a smaller one, but it's longer. Same thing, anti-clockwise to tighten the brake. So I'll do that a bit, and actually, since we're at it, let me turn it on, and it might actually be easier. Switch off the lights. As you can see, I'm hearing a disc at the back. But now, when I'm going back here, turning right, I don't hear it. If I turn left, and I tighten the brake too much, that's when I hear the disc at the back, right? And now, loosening it a bit. So I want to find that just perfect middle. And then this is where we play with this one, and I tighten it. That way, it stays in place. Go max. Test my brakes. Perfect. Nice. And that's about it. Once again, it's the exact same thing on the front, just like inversed, and you'll be dealing with the right brake handle. It's not something, this whole process is not something that you'll ever have to do often. Just maybe when you change your brake pads every 500 to 800 kilometers or so, really depending on how you ride. But other than that, otherwise it's probably just going to be those small little adjustments on the brake handle, or that small screw on the wheel there. So that's about it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If there's anything else that I can help you with, if you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask them. Also, what do you guys think of those repair live videos? Is there anything in particular you guys want to see? Any questions you want me answered? If there's something that you want me to show you, don't hesitate. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and thanks for joining.